Hello, I'm Zach Hodges, and in this video, we're going to take a look at making your photos look like film, especially talking about the color and the tonality aspect of film. I'm going to make another video about grain and texture. Those are also really important elements, but we're just going to focus on the color for now. As you probably know, since you're watching this video, film has been having quite a resurgence in popularity in the last several years as more and more people are discovering the really wonderful experience of film and the beautiful aesthetic that it has. And, let me just say, you're not going to hear me say that you can get that same thing with the preset. They're just not quite the same. And I really think that every photographer, if they can, really should try shooting film at least once, if not just for the experience. I mean, it's a really wonderful thing. But like many wonderful things, it's quite expensive. And many of us wish to make our digital images look more like that. And there is a lot that you can do to get closer. Now, I work at VSCO. I've been here helping people make their photos look like film for going on 13 years now. I built the original VSCO film presets, if you remember those. And then later I led a project to, take film emulation as far as we could go. We built a lab, hired a color scientist, purchased all kinds of expensive and rare equipment, and ultimately created a very advanced process to emulate film. And those are the presets that you see in the VSCO app, the film presets. So I'm going to be using the VSCO app today to show you this because it's kind of a passion project for me, and there's a lot to show you here, and I think the results speak for themselves. So without further ado, let's dive in. When you're in the VSCO app, if you're in the editor on the all category, just scroll past the pro presets there and you'll get to these presets with a white background and colored letters. And these are the film presets. And actually the names are pretty significant. Like for instance, I'm going to tap on AU5 here and you can see that this preset is inspired by Agfa Ultra 50. And that's where the name comes from. So the first letter is the name of the company for Agfa, and then U for Ultra, and then 5 for 50, which is like the speed or the ISO of the film. And if you tap into the name here, you can actually see there's a great write-up about each film. So there's a lot more to learn there if you'd like. But going back into the preset tray, even the color of the letters comes from the box or the canister of each film. And so you can really get a good sense of what you're working with as you just scroll through here and look at the different names of these films. Now, actually, AU5 is a really great place to start. It's a really colorful look that just works wonderfully on a lot of subjects. And it's actually a very rare film. It was pretty hard to get. So it's kind of special to have it here, and I'm delighted that so many people love it. Another preset to get you started is KE1. This is just a personal favorite of mine. I just feel like it's hard to find a picture that doesn't look a little better when you put this preset on it. And I'd encourage you to try all of these. There's really a lot of great stuff in here. But it's important to remember as you're looking through them that, just like how a roll of film is not just one look, neither are these presets. And so I want to look at the controls that you have. And let's go to KU4 for this. Now, when you're in here, we start with the strength control, and I think we're all pretty familiar with that one at this point. But I actually want to suggest that you leave this one till the end. And it's easier to see what the other controls are doing when the strength is up all the way. And also, this is kind of a digital control, right? You can't turn down the effect of film itself. It just kind of is what it is. So if you are going for realism, it actually makes sense to leave this one up all the way. Moving on, character is the exposure of the film. And so I have my trusty Canon AE1 here. And if I was to meter the scene with this film, with this camera, that would be character at 0. But then if I overexpose the film by, maybe I decrease the shutter speed or decrease the aperture so that, more light hits the film and it's overexposed, the image that I would then get back from the lab would look a little different. And so overexposure is going in the positive direction of the character slider. And generally, you'll see more contrast, more color when you go this way, and that can look really nice. Now, on the opposite side of that is underexposure. So this would be like if you increased the shutter speed or increased your aperture, and this typically decreases contrast, decreases color, and you might even see like a fade, like in this one, in the shadows here at the extreme end. Now, with a real film, in a bright outdoor setting, you're probably more likely to overexpose, while in a darker indoor setting, you might be underexposing. And so you can get a more realistic look by thinking about that. And I'll just point out too, when we're talking about the character slider, the cross-processed films these go crazy on the character slider. KA3X here. If we look at this, it reacted so strongly to changes in exposure. It's almost like having 4 or 5 different films on this one slider. But usually it's actually pretty subtle changes. And so, don't be afraid to push it pretty far. If it looks good to you, don't mind the number. And then let's look at the warmth control. So this simulates the color temperature adjustments in the scanner. So when you send your film to the lab to have it processed and scanned, they are going to be adjusting the white balance in the scanner for each image to try to make it look, the best it can. Here's a picture of the Fuji Frontier that we have in the lab, and the controls there. You can see that there's a CMY buttons to adjust the white balance. And so with this tool, the warmth tool, you can similarly add a cooler or a warmer tone, kind of emulating the scanner part of this whole process, and add that to your image. And for this one, actually, I really like the warmer tone here. It really kind of suits the desert feel of this one. And so I'm going to leave it there. And if we tap and hold to see a before and after, this really made a nice difference. And to me, at least, it looks a lot more like film than the original. So there you go. That's how you can get at least the color kind of treatment of film onto your photos. And like I said, I'm going to be making another video about the grain and the texture next, so be sure to look out for that. But I'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite film presets? How do you set them to get the style, the film look that you like? And then additionally, I'm going to be making more content like this, and I'd really love to know, what else would you like to learn in this format? Let me know in the comments. And that's all I have for now. So thank you all, and I'll see you next time.